Welcome to the iArt Institute Photoshop Grid tutorial. In this video, we will be learning how to use the on-screen ruler to create guides, which allows us to make sure that images are aligned straight or constrain them within certain borders. So here, we have 3 images already open. And to begin, we're going to create a new file. Let's make it 9 inches by 9 inches. And now let's make sure the rulers are on. If you go under View, we can see Ruler along with the shortcut key, Command or Control R. So if I hit Command or Control R on the keyboard, the rulers will show up and hide. Now let's create a 3x3 grid. If we go to View and click New Guide, we can choose the horizontal or vertical position from the origin, which is by default the left side, top left of the image. So if we type in 3 to make a vertical guide 3 inches from the origin, you can see that a blue line shows up at the 3-inch line. This line will not show up in your final image and is just a guide for you to use. You can also create guides by clicking and dragging from the ruler, and you can see here that another line shows up. And we can also move them and reposition them as we like, making sure that this one's at 6 inches. So now let's complete the grid by making 2 more guides. Once again at 3 inches, and then 6 inches. And now we have our grid. So now that our grid is created, let's go to our first image. If I hit Control or Command A, I can select the whole image, and you can see that everything is selected here. And then if I hit Control or Command C, I will copy the image to my clipboard. Then going back to the original file, I can hit Control or Command V to paste the image. Now let's say that we want to put the image in the top left corner. Making sure that the image is selected in our layers, we can drag the image towards the top left, and you can see that the image automatically tries to align itself to the border. That is called snapping, and the guides that we made will allow us to snap the image to those specific points as well, making them quick and accurate. Now, to reshape and resize our image, we're going to transform it. So, if we go to Edit and go to Transform, we can see a variety of options for transformation. These are useful for making very specific adjustments to your image. But for now, let's just use the free transform option. You can see that little boxes have appeared along the border of our image, and if we drag one of those boxes, we can reshape our image. And dragging outside of the border of our image will allow us to rotate it, as you can see here. Can be hard to get a little straight sometimes. Anyway, so if we drag the edges close to one of the guides, it'll snap to the guide. So let's fit our image within the top left box, and you can hit Enter when you are done. Now let's go to our second image. Using our same controller, Command A, we can select all, and then Command or Control C to copy. And we go back to our original file and paste with Control or Command V, and let's drag it to the top right. You can see that the same way the image snaps to the top right of the file. And then this time, let's hit Command or Control T on your keyboard to transform this time, which is the shortcut key. The image is too small, so let's pull the corner out to the guidelines and hit enter. And now the two images are aligned with each other. Now let's bring our final image in using the same select all, copy and paste. And this time, pulling the border to the guidelines, let's use our free transform tool. You can see that the image has become distorted. That's because the original image was not square. So if we want to go back, we can hit Controller Command Z to undo. And let's see. So if we transform and then hold the Shift key on your keyboard while dragging on a corner, you can resize the image keeping the same proportions. This way the image doesn't become distorted. So right now, let's align the top left corner of the image with the middle section of the grid. And now when we resize using the Shift key, if we try to snap to the guide, you can see that it doesn't work. Instead, you will have to use measurements to give you an idea of the size. And now let's remove the bottom part of the image. Using our rectangular marquee tool, we can select the undesirable part of the image by making a box and using the guides to select the correct amount, and then hitting delete. Now the bottom of the image is removed, and we have a nice square image. This concludes the grid tutorial.